Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Men's Division I Volleyball. The Stanford Cardinal in tonight against IPFW. Stanford, number 5 in the nation, against number 12 IPFW. This is a wrap of the Farm Bureau Invitational. Earlier tonight, Stanford, or scratch that, Long Beach State beat Ball State in 5. And we're expecting a good one tonight. I'm Paul Farbaugh, joined by Tim Heffron. Tim, we know about Stanford. They're big and they're young, and they have an All-American center. So that's going to be a big matchup tonight.
Certainly is. Those are your two top setters in the nation going against each other head-to-head. They're both going to be looking for that second spot on the national team as soon as their careers are over here this year. So they will get to know each other even better than they know each other now.
Well, a good crowd on hand out here tonight, numbering well over 1,200. We'd like to take this time right now to thank College Access Incorporated of Fort Wayne. This College Cable Access Sports presentation is underwritten in part by a grant from Cable Access Incorporated of Fort Wayne. And the team's finishing their warm-ups right now.
I think the team, the IPFW, they've got to be real pleased with themselves after last night's performance. Just played a whale of a match, really got up on it, served extremely well, probably the best serving match they've had this year. And I know they're really, basically proud of what they did last night, because anytime you go against a California team, they're going to be well schooled, they're going to do some really nice things, and you've got to execute to beat a California team. Well,
execution great last night. Steve Simonson comes in. The game's 14-6 in Long Beach's favor in game number 2. Simonson comes up with a big dig and a couple service errors by Long Beach State. 10 straight points later for IPFW. And the mood in the locker room last night certainly reflecting that comeback. Great camaraderie, Tim. And I think this team is starting to come together a little bit, gelling at the right time.
Exactly. They were looking for somebody to step it up at that critical juncture, and Simonson digs and yells, "You're easy," through the net to the other guy, and the team takes it from there.
Okay, we're going to take a timeout right now. When we come back, the starting lineups right after this timeout.
How can you find out when lightning may strike? And how do you count the fish in the sea? How can you tell if a child is growing normally, if baseball is getting better, or traffic is getting worse? How do you know about stock market trends, the risk of cholesterol, the history of witchcraft, or the future of spacecraft? With statistics, that's how. And how can you find out about statistics? With the new Statistics Series, Against All Odds.
Children are the largest group of Americans living below the poverty line. They have to reach higher for what others take for granted. Healthcare, balanced meals, encouragement to learn. But with help early on, children in your community can gain the skills to get out from below the poverty line. It takes programs like Success by 6 and people like you to help them take the first step. Call to learn more. Change the world of a child, and you change the world.
Welcome back to the Heergate Sports Center. Just about to get underway here. Let's go down to Jim Moore, the public address announcer, and pick up the starting lineups.
Tonight's officials are referee Patty Salvatore from Cleveland, Ohio, and umpire Tom Pingle from Indianapolis, Indiana. Line judges are Jeff Schultz and Colin Leiter. And now for tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Stanford University Cardinal, a 6'6" sophomore swing hitter from Kanoha, Hawaii, number 9, Mike Lambert. A 6'7" freshman middle attacker from Goleta, California, number 4, Michael Hofer. A 6'9" freshman middle attacker from Fresno, California, number 14, Brian Moore. A 6'7" freshman opposite hitter from Costa Mesa, California, number 20, Matt Ferbringer. A 6'5" senior center from Manhattan Beach, California, number 21, Kenyon Seaman. And a 6'5" middle attacker from Alhambra, California, number 23, Joe Burkhart. The Cardinal is coached by Ruben Nieves, assistant coach John Costi, and the trainer is David Reeder. And now for your IPFW Volleyball. A 6'7" freshman middle attacker from Grand Rapids, Michigan, number 14, Mike Termolen. A 6'3" sophomore swing hitter from Chanhassen, Minnesota, number 6, Brad Preditis. A 6'6" junior middle hitter from Ponce, Puerto Rico, number 7, Felipe Relat. A 6'5" junior swing hitter from Detroit, Michigan, number 12, Craig Collins. A 6'4" senior opposite hitter from Yaco, Puerto Rico, number 15, Norman Almodovar. And a 6'8" senior center from Woodburn, Indiana, number 10, Loy Ball. The Volleyball are coached by Arnie Ball. Assistant coaches are Dave Schmidlin, Lauren Giebert, and Mark Franke.
Well, the same starting lineup for IPFW tonight as last night. Craig Collins going to get the start at the opposite position where he was most effective, 22 kills. Mike Tremolin to start in the middle. And Brad Preditis is going to be outside doing passing. For Stanford, Tim, that is a big lineup. The shortest guy out on the floor is Kenyon Seaman at 6'4", the setter.
You have two very similar teams actually in philosophy, and they're both offensively oriented. As opposed to Ball State and the Beach, they're both more defensively orientated, so you've got a lot of blocking and hitting. I predict that the team that passes and serves the toughest here is going to win this match because they're going to be very evenly matched at the net.
Well, tonight it looks like Relat is going to start off on serve rather than Loy Ball normally starts behind the service line.
Yes, I believe their idea is to match up our two jump servers, Loy and Norman, against rotations where Kenyon has to come from the back row out of serve reception.
Make it harder for Seaman to do the job. First swing of the night, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's going to make it extremely difficult for Kenyon Seaman to get all the way from the back part of the court to the front part of the net with Loy and Norman jump serving like they jump serve.
Kill by Ferbringer, number 20. He is just a freshman. And a one-on-one, Almodovar.
It's a nice start for Norman. This is the first rotation we're talking about where he's got to come way back from, you see he's all the way back there.
And on the jump serve, he has to get there quickly. Nice pass. Brian Moore with the put down. Stanford went 4 last night with Ball State. Took Ohio State earlier in the week, I believe on Wednesday, 3 straight in the first service error for Stanford.
And Burkhart actually has a nice jump floater. Boy, he really was effective with that last night. You'll have to see if he can bring that into play for Stanford because that's a nice weapon they have.
Joe Burkhart, he's a senior on the team, 6'5", with a service error. And a complimentary one by Almodovar. Combination that play, Termolen.
Double quick for IPFW. They've got to commit 1 blocker per quick attacker, and when you get a one-on-one, you're in good shape.
That's going to be very important if Termolen can get off the start. and have a blocker go up with him. That would be one-on-one for Rolata and other people over the middle. Seaman going outside.
To Lambert, boy, that guy can hit the ball a ton. He hits high, he hits hard. It's pretty tough to block, but Craig and Felipe can get up in the air. They can get a can on that. We might get some defense out of it.
Number 9, Mike Lambert. Coach Arnie Ball of IPFW feels he has one of the best arms in the game. And Ramparditis swinging one-on-one. IPFW getting great opportunities tonight right off the bat. Stanford not getting 2 blockers up.
Exactly, and it's all because of passing.
Tough serve by Collins. Rides in on Burkhardt.
Oh, a free ball.
Make that a 3-point, first one of the game.
That's the difference in the game. If you can serve tough, and you can get that double block up, you're going to be in good shape.
Collins tried to drop that one just over the net. Second service error for IPFW. And just to finish that point, Lambert, Coach Arnie Ball coached him just last summer, and he believes Lambert has the tools. That one just ticks the net, so it is another service error for Stanford. Believes Lambert has the tools to be an Olympic team member.
No doubt in my mind he's going to have an opportunity to prove his stuff. He'll get a shot at the national team.
Barditis on serve at 1-0. Burkhardt with the pass. Seaman going right back to him off the fingertips. 2 to get it over. to Roland calls for it.
Nice play, nice play. Here it is, hit it.
A joust and the stop that time by Seaman. The argument there, Seaman over the net.
Well, I think they think IPFW was looking for a net call there. He really did penetrate the net quite far on that.
And Lloyd coming right back. The cut shot by Almodovar inside 2 blockers.
Nice,
and that has been his trademark this year.
Yeah, he's got to come back as soon as play is put against him there. He's got to come back and be successful to keep himself in the match.
Lambert on the pass. Burkhardt, Barditis cannot come up with it in position. And we mentioned last night, Tim, the team really working on the position, being ready to make the day.
Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes in before the other team actually hits the ball over the net. You've got to read and know their hitting tendencies and know where your block is so you can line up to the open court. And that's the hardest part of defense is making the right adjustment during the play.
The pineapple does not go, so it's 1-1, but Collins, first kill of the night for Collins.
It's good to see Greg come off a back row attack right away. You know, he can sail him here and there, but if he can get off and start pounding them, it'll make IPFW real good.
There's another one. Lloyd Ball almost getting a set there, the overpass.
That is exactly what we want to have happen. It's an extremely tough set for Canyon to make, and he really made a pretty good set out of the deal, and we got 3 blockers up, and that's going to be a good rotation for us.
There's a little bit of the jump floater again. Burkhardt has had some knee surgery on his right leg. He's not wearing the brace. He wore it some last year.
It's good. It's a good serve. It's a tough serve to handle.
We saw Jeff Nygaard pull that one out earlier against UCLA. Nice set that time by Ball.
It's in play yet.
And a good opportunity that time. Lambert blocking Almodovar. Poor decision by Lloyd Ball.
Yeah, that's twice in 2 nights in a row that the double quick is there, and really the place to go is outside when you've drawn 2 blockers over to the right side of the court there. Go to the left side.
Stanford up 3-1. And that one catching the line. I don't think that was designed by Barditis. But one thing you want to do, if you're going to hit the ball up like that, you want to make sure you have enough to get it over the net.
Exactly, and that's a freshman error there by Furbringer. He is a freshman, and he's going to make those kinds of mistakes.
A little long that time. Brian Moore missing. IPFW with a point.
As will that freshman. He's going to sail a few as the night goes.
Brian Moore is 6'9", so if he looks big on your screen at home, it's true. He is the big man out there tonight.
Nice set. Very nice set by Canyon Seaman there. Gives, that's a tough pass to run down, and he gives his hitter an opportunity to get a good swing on the ball, and it all great setters can do that every time, no matter where the pass is.
Pretty play that time. Ball saving the pass, and Termolin up quickly.
I think Loy's saying right back at you, Canyon. I can do the same thing. I can make a great play.
Another pretty set. Some things you notice about Canyon Seaman's game. He doesn't give away his sets at all. What does he do technically different from what we're used to seeing Loy Ball do?
Well, they've got a different philosophy in how they want their setter to set the ball. Basically, he's trying to make it look like he can set all three options at any given time. He wants to get his body in position to be able to set all three options so that the middle blocker can't load up on a particular hitter. Whereas Loy will look like he's going to set one direction and then set the other. So he makes it look like he wants to set a particular place but then set somewhere else. They're two different styles and they're both effective.
Stanford now, Almodovar could not come up with it. Stanford leading 4-3. Brian Moore on serve.
It's good to see Brad get off to a great start. He's doing a nice job passing and hitting.
IPFW going to a little more complicated offense right off the bat tonight. Verbringer going wide.
Yeah, he's not into the game here yet. I'm not sure I would set him for a while. He needs to get his feet wet.
Stanford did have a lull against Ball State last night. Ralat one-on-one block. Verbringer coming from the back row. Ralat just waiting on him that time.
I don't think we're going to see Verbringer get this one. I think this one's probably going outside right here.
And I think you want to call Lambert's number. Still alive, but Moore cannot come up with it. Service ace by Collins. And IPFW, 6-4 leaders. Ruben Nieves, the Stanford coach, is going to talk about this one.
Excellent serving by the Dons. Just excellent. They're just doing a nice job picking on number 23, and they're going to keep going to him, make him work.
IPFW leading at 6-4. The College Cable Access Program Guide will provide you information about programming, including all IPFW sports telecasts. To receive your free Channel 6 program guide, send your name, address, and zip code to Channel 6, IPFW 211 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana, the zip 05, or you can give us a call at 481-6000. And the MIVA is coming in here late April, and we will televise all 5 matches, including the championship game on the 22nd. So if you're interested, go ahead, give us a ring and get your free program guide.
This ball has to go to Lambert on the outside here, I think.
Collins continues to serve.
We've got Loy matched up against him out there, so it's going to be pretty good.
Well, Collins served to Lambert to take him out. Ball with the block. Going right back to him. Double block, Ralat!
There it is. IPFW knew it was going out there. They loaded up their 2 best blockers in the front row on him, and look what happens. Here it is here on your video. Just a great block. Great camera shot there by our crew.
And good work that time. Loy Ball one-on-one on Lambert. The previous block, Loy took away the sideline and Papa covered the middle. That time it was only Loy Ball.
That's going to be a key matchup for the Dons all night. If Loy can neutralize Lambert, Dons are going to be in good shape.
Seaman going over the middle. Termolin comes up with it. Got to get it over. Off the dome that time, and Stanford stopping the bleeding momentarily. IPFW with 5 straight points, an 8-4 leader.
Excellent run by the Dons. They forced Stanford to come out of it. They didn't make a mistake. Dons did not make a mistake to give away the momentum. They made Stanford earn their way out of it.
This is Lambert on the jump. Moore comes up with it.
Nice dig. Nobody's ready to play though, and it's out.
And Stanford a little disjointed right now.
That's just a great dig by the freshman there, Moore. Just an excellent dig, and the set was popped up to the pipe position. Nobody's ready to hit it though.
It's Burkhart passing and going right back to him.
That was really a great serve because it takes the middle hitter out of the play and allows the 2 blockers to set up on their weak side hitter. They got a nice matchup getting those 2 blockers up by that serve.
Seaman on serve at 4-8. A lot right over the middle.
And I think you just saw the weakness in Stanford's blocking, if they have any, because they're doggone good at it. Number 4 in the middle for Stanford. I think we can pick on him a little bit.
Aaron Wells, he's in the lineup at 6'2". Two-man block, but into the net. No, the point goes to IPFW.
They said the ball was down before he hit the net. As soon as the ball contacts the floor, the play is dead. Nice serve. There it is. Oh! Gosh, that's a great serve, though. They got him guessing. He's not sure of himself right now. You keep that passer off balance, you can run points.
Well, IPFW also worked on the serve this week, and particularly to that zone.
Touch. Big touch on the block, and the ball was in.
Right now, IPFW mixing it up. Lloyd Ball going to all the options. And Ball on serve at 9-4. Burkhart with the up. Verbringer. And that might be a confidence boost right there. He was shut down the last 2 times over the middle.
He needed that. He needed to get back in the match. Otherwise, Stanford's in a load of trouble.
Jump floater again. Might have gone out of bounds. And a bad swing that time by Perditis.
Lloyd telling him, hey, you made 1 mistake, don't make 2 mistakes in the same play.
That's right, because Burkheck right back at him.
It's a nice pass there.
Collins, it's up, 2 to get it over. Bump set that time by Perditis, and Collins coming through.
So that was a pretty tough play for Collins. I mean, it was a low bump set. They had 2 blockers already out there. A set was inside. He just threaded the needle there. That was not an easy hit to make.
Almodovar, Burkhart handling it.
Oh,
Verbringer the touch, that time by Perditis. Side out Stanford.
And Normie's got to be a little more disciplined in his defense and stay in the middle back on that line. He can dig that ball off the block. I think he was thinking there was a hole there he went for. Hustle.
The touch last by Collins out of bounds. Point for Stanford, now it's 6-9. Great up by Seaman. The ball's still alive, or did they call it down?
Oh gosh, that ball was down. The way you can tell if you watch on a pancake is if the ball changes direction, then a hand hit the ball. But if the ball continues on its trajectory after it hits the ground, there's no contact there. I'm just shocked.
And an overpass by Perditis. Stanford right back in this one. Arnie Ball calling the timeout. IPFW still the leader in game 1, 9-8. While we have this break in the action, I know basketball season is over, but girls ages 6 to 15 are invited to attend the IPFW Girls Basketball Camp on June 27th through the 30th here at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. IPFW Women's Basketball Coach Aline Kleinfelter and her assistant Lisa Miller and current IPFW players will conduct training that emphasizes shooting, footwork, passing, dribbling, rebounding, scrimmaging, and individual and team defense. For more information, the number there on your screen, just wiped it off. 481-6643, 481-6643. Again, that's June 27th through the 30th. And Tim, IPFW showed this last night. When they get a run out there, they get comfortable.
Right.
And let the other team back in.
It's time to step it up now. They're back into a match here. The other team is not going to lose the game for them. They're going to have to earn their way out of this.
There's a shot of the Stanford coach, Ruben Nieves. He's in his 4th season. 2 years ago, IPFW met Stanford in the Final Four down in Muncie. And that was a 5-game victory for Stanford, who was ranked number 1 at the time. And I believe it was the first time that a number 4 seed against a number 1 seed had taken 2 games off of the number 1 seed.
That's correct.
Big swing that time. Paper a lot, and here's the spark plug from last night, Steve Simonson, in for Mike Termolin.
In fact, the Dons own the only 3 games won against the number 1 seed in the Final Four ever. So they've done a nice job, and hopefully by winning this match tonight, if Stanford comes out of their conference as their choice for the Final Four, since we would have beaten them, then we would end up being at least the number 3 seed, if not higher. So this is a critical match for the Dons here tonight.
Absolutely. It will have implications down the line. That time the two-man block up, but just long into the lineup now, Stuart Chong. He's a 5'10 freshman, and 5'10 in this game now, in the game of college volleyball now, you're playing back row.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Nice swing by Greg there. It's pretty tough. You know, in my day, you could get away with it when you're 5'11", 6 foot, but now it's awful tough to play it that short when you got these 6'8" people hanging all over you.
Burkhart, Seaman, sending Furbringer. Boy, right between the seam there, Collins and Simonson. Coach Arnie Ball is calling the serves tonight. And is he a little more aggressive on the call than you or Lauren Jeeber, the assistant coach?
I don't think so. He told me to be pretty aggressive last night. We had a little mud pack there. Outside.
That's outside the antenna. The mud pack referring to a facial being served up.
Just a tap on the old noggin there. It was just a little mud pack, not a complete facial, just a half of one there, I think.
Half a facial. He only got the BAD of the Baden on the ball.
Out. That ball's out.
Furbringer wanting a touch, and he gets it. No net violation.
Net violation on Loy there. Unfortunate.
Once again, just to clarify, Tim, for all the viewers out there who might not be aware, a player cannot touch the net until the ball hits the floor. And many times you'll see Norman on that play right there underneath the net, but he has not touched the floor yet, and the ball has already hit.
Correct. As soon as the referee blows their whistle, or they feel the ball is dead, then anybody can do anything they want, basically.
Outside, Furbringer. What a pretty set that was by Seaman.
It was, and Loy needed to take a half more step out there, and he'd have gotten that, because that was a tight set. Anytime you have a tight set, you want to be directly facing the hitter as a blocker.
And Tim, when you speak about a tight set, not as much height on the ball from Seaman when he goes to the outside, a little quicker pace. He likes to run a little faster offense on the outside. And in the lineup, J.B. Taylor, number 30.
Yeah, Canyon definitely speeds up his outsides a lot faster than most colleges.
Taylor, number 30 in.
As long as you're consistent at that, then you're okay. Dons just can't seem to buy a point. They're just like inches away from getting off a 9.
Oh, we've been stuck on this 9-8 score through about 3 rotations. Second one coming through. It's Almodovar, and that time he took an extreme angle on that. Seemed to wrap his right arm well beyond his midline.
Yeah,
back in the follow through.
He likes to go for this roundhouse, as you see here. Sometimes he'll dip his left shoulder and try to get a dislocate. We call it a dislocate.
Boy, and this has been the most effective rotation for Stanford. Joe Burkhart, number 23, the senior, back on serve, and the jump floater, Brad Perditis, having a little trouble with it.
Yeah, he's got to nail this pass. I mean, it's just critical to IPFW's offense here.
And if he doesn't, you might see Ricardo Soler in pretty soon.
This is not one of the Don's better rotations to side out in.
And there was a mistake by Seaman, but Stanford survives, and now the outside. Kill is good by Lambert. 11-9 Stanford.
Arnie calls for the timeout here. Dons can't, this is really not a good rotation for them. They just don't seem to have a really good swing at this point.
We're going to take a timeout right now. Stanford, your leader in game 1, 11-9.
Jobs. It's top priority with many Hoosiers today. Good jobs with good futures. That's what Ivy Tech in Fort Wayne specializes in. training good people for good jobs. The skilled jobs Indiana's future needs.
Ivy Tech, what Indiana needs to grow. Call for enrollment information.
Stanford, your leader at 11-9. Joe Burkhart, still on serve.
Sure,
Game number 1, best of 5.
There's a nice pass.
And that worked last night. Collins splitting the blockers.
Very nice pass. That's all set up by a good pass. So critical.
Lambert, two-man block that time. Termolen and Collins. And Termolen, just by virtue of being 6'7", a threat that time, but good penetration at the net.
Nice serve. Very nice. Oh, there it is. Oh! And that's what I was talking about. If he stays back there and holds his position, it's going to go off the block. You can make an easy dig out of that ball. He's just got to stay back there and hang in there. Out. Dons can use that. They just got to get a point here. Mike's got a nice 5 serve. He can serve the ball to zone 5 real well.
And we'll see if he does.
He's going for 2, it looks like, or 1.
A good serve that time, but a great set to the outside to Lambert. And also talking with Coach Ball about Canyon Seaman, he feels he runs a little better offense when he's on the run, doesn't have the good pass.
Definitely. He gets more movement going. It makes the blockers wait a little longer.
Big swing that time, Ralat in the middle.
Excellent matchup for the Dons. Wells is not going to be able to handle Ralat at all. They've just got to use that quite often. I just don't think Wells can stick with Pepa.
Off the block, 2 to get it over. Two-man block up for Stanford. The overpass off the top of Seaman's head. Ralat. He already used the Chrome Dome. What would you call that one, Tim?
Oh.
Do you have any terms?
I don't have another term for off the top of a head in a blocking situation.
Wells dug out that time. Proditis catching the line.
Here they come. Here comes the Dons. They got the momentum. Crowd's getting into it.
12-11. Collins on serve. Let's take another look at it. Dug out of there by Almodovar. Right over the block, Proditis.
I think if the Dons hold their base defense like they're doing, and they don't use that credit card defense where everybody charges the ball, they just stay back there, they're going to be real successful in digging the ball. We used a credit card defense before?
Yeah, you've already used that. People, if you're not aware, Tim has to come up with 3 new volleyball terms each week for us to be well acquainted with the slang that the players run around here. So you don't have any tonight. We need 3 from you the rest of the game. I'm sure you're going to come up with 3. The pressure's on you.
No problem. Hope it goes 5 games. Craig needs to serve this one in and force Stanford to put the ball away. There's a nice play.
Back set, Verbringer.
Ball's still going off the blocker's hands to that middle back. Those folks back there, if they could just dig those balls, Dons are going to be okay.
This is Lambert catching the line, and he brings the heat from the service line.
It's a nice serve.
12-12. IPFW jumped out to a 9-4 lead. Stanford came back and took an 11-9 lead. Off the block, Ralat with a kill. He's getting much more involved tonight over the middle.
Definitely has to be involved because that at 6'2", Wells at 6'2" is just not going to be effective against a taller middle blocker.
Ralat goes 6'6". That time Seaman off the touch. Side out Stanford, Seaman back on serve. Oh, a bad pass for Ball to chase down. Oh, what a big point. Moore got a piece of it. Moore hit it as it was going apparently out of bounds.
Yeah, it's a big point for the Dons here, or a side out actually, because it was such a really a bad pass and a nice play out of the net.
Back to live action, Burkhart. Furbringer with the kill.
Trading side outs here.
And the service error.
Lloyd could use one of those traditional jump serve aces here. That would be a nice play at this point.
Where does he like to serve the jump serve? His favorite area of the court.
What is his favorite area?
Yeah, with the jump serve.
Definitely one.
And that's where he was going, just missing.
Here we're back to this rotation here. Hopefully Dons can get out of it.
Point Stanford.
They get into this rotation, they just got to pass the ball.
Good pass that time. Termolen. And a smart play that time. Termolen had a blocker up in the middle. He just does not have enough strength if the block is up to put it away off the blocker.
Yeah, he's got the big guy, you know. He's going against 6'9", and he's known as noodle arm, and so he can noodle it over smaller blockers, but against a taller blocker, he's not going to be able to.
There's the overpass. Aggressive serve by Almodovar.
That's what they need. They could use another one right here.
And he's talking with the coach right now, discussing where he wants to put the jump serve.
He might go for 1.5, what we call 1.5 serve here. Yep, he did. There it is. There it is. That's a tough play.
And he fails to cover up again. He's been floating around the back line.
It's so there, and that was a really great serve, and because you have them on their heels after you serve zone 1, and then you go for a 1.5, almost a 2 on a jump serve, and they almost didn't get it.
Furbringer on serve at 13-13. And Termolen wasn't exactly the prettiest kill you'll ever see, but effective.
Now Noodle comes through again here. Nickname now has become Noodle.
And Mike's an easygoing guy.
Here's a transition chance. Oh, could have called it.
Boy, that was definitely a whirly-bird coming out of Lambert's hands. Side out Stanford just to finish that point about Mike, though. He is really just learning how to play volleyball, and he takes the ribbing. He gets a lot of ribbing from his teammates.
He certainly does.
Takes it very well. Roll on in the middle. And Burkhart landing on his right elbow, trying to dig that one out. That might affect his service game a little bit. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Strike can work him over here a little bit. Yep, there we go.
Lambert, second option. Pretty set that time by Seaman.
Very nice set. Very nice. Papa had to go with the middle to respect the middle on that set. That'll help.
Service error by Lambert. He had a service ace the last time he went to the jump.
Big side out war here at 13-13. Which team is going to crack? Working position 2 over a little bit.
Oh, nice set that time. The pass was a little tight to the net. Seaman brought it back. And Seaman does do the jump set more than Loy. He's always in the air jump setting, mating the ball just as late as he.
Mistake there. Usually you want, on a tip ball like that, you've got to think defense first as a setter, and setters just love to release quick as they can. And they think if they can get kind of a free ball that they can vacate their area and the middle back will take that ball. Lambert didn't believe it though.
Overpass. Burkhart played one that was out of bounds. Furbringer still up to get it over. Relat does.
Where is the ball? Here we go. Now we got a transition play. Normie's up.
Off the blockers, no? It's long, no blocker. Stanford pulling the hands down. What an opportunity for a swing there. Aaron Wells on the outside, 6-2. Go ahead, Tim.
That was Don's best chance right there at an overpass. Anytime you have an overpass, boy, you just got to kill that ball.
Oh, and that's off the head into an overhang above.
Dons need a little pick-me-up here. It's Loy's turn here. He's got another shot at this serve. He may go for 5 again. He can work that over, I think, if he can nail it here. Goes for 1.
Steady goes for 1.
He's got a chicken wing there. He's got a chicken wing dig. Oh, terrible.
Almodovar late getting to the sideline that time. Trying to cover up the line, just a little too late getting there.
Loy Ball with the chicken wing dig. He throws out the old wing and wings that ball up in the air. Does that count?
That's 1.
Okay. Ah, shit.
Big kill on the overpass by Lambert, and that might be the break that Stanford needs there. 14-13. And IPFW well schooled in a little bit of a gamemanship there, wiping the floor off, getting a break.
Burkhart's just got that excellent jump floater. It's really tough to handle.
And a service error. Well, he did hit his elbow just a few rotations back on the floor.
Might be still bothering him. Dons need a point, though.
Almodovar got the point last time on the serve.
Nice serve.
What a great pass by Burkhart that time. And Burkhart has been doing the dirty work on the IPFW serve. IPFW has served very well tonight.
They have. Those are tough serves. Those are not easy passes he's making. He's done a nice job passing that ball.
Broditis. Boy, Lloyd really didn't have too many options that time off the Broditis pass.
No, he
was able to stick it down.
Yeah, he had one option. That was go right back to Brad, and Brad came through. Still working one over with Noodle. Out, ball's out.
Oh, a wide open kill attempt, nobody up.
Like I say, Moore will do that like about 2 times a game. He'll sail a ball that he shouldn't.
He is just a freshman, a lot of potential in that 6'9" body of Moore's.
Oh, nice play.
Termolin with the cross up.
Yes.
Put the block up, Brad Broditis.
Excellent turnaround, caught him off guard. Served the passer who's front row short so he can't get a good approach and sets to the back row. We get a double block up.
Game number 1, IPFW trying to put it away. Instead, Lambert with a big swing on the outside.
Unfortunately, Mike served a lollipop there for that game point and just didn't even make a move at all. You've got to be aggressive even on game point.
Ryan Moore on serve at 14-15. Oh, that's all set up by the pass from Almodovar.
Plus the fact that Pepa hit the last 3 balls in a row out of the middle there. They were looking at a Pepa all the way.
And Collins on the fake X combination.
Nice serve. They're in trouble. Big
Lambert
hit.
bails them out though.
Big hit. Got that double block up with our 2 best blockers out there and went right through them.
Well, if I'm IPFW right now, and IPFW going to do a little more, shall we say, housekeeping. If I'm IPFW, I'm thinking Lambert is going to get the ball.
He's got to get the ball.
Right now, he's the man that's been doing all the swinging.
He's got to get the ball in game point. Now that he's in the back row, though, who's going to get the ball? I don't know. Uh-oh.
A little trouble that time. Collins with an inside-out approach.
Yeah, that's not his best type of approach. The one he just took there made it work, though.
And Broditis on serve for game number 1. Nice pass by Burkhart.
Oh, gosh. I can't believe they just didn't figure that out. There's the setters in the front row, the guys right over there for the second option. Normie's just got to step in there and take that, and they all got to slide over and help block that, because that's their worst rotation to get out of.
And Stanford getting away with one there. Rollock with the put down.
Nice play. That's what you get with a 6'8" setter, is that they have to respect Loy, and he gets an easy kill there.
One more time. This is the third chance IPFW has had to serve. The first game out. 15-14 Rollock.
Big serve.
No one up that time on the block.
They took a chance. They went with a guess as it was going outside, and Norman took a chance and really didn't wait and watch the setter and see where he set, and he was already going outside, and they crossed him up.
One-on-one. You're not going to stop it. That time, Almodovar going down the line.
Here we go, Loy's chance. And they all know it over there. He might serve zone 5. Work over the freshman. Goes for one. Here's an overpass.
Mike Tremolen with a put away.
Noodle comes through in a big way.
And the overpass is probably one of the toughest plays in volleyball.
It is. It looks easy. It looks extremely easy to execute, but it is not, especially when they overpass the ball 5 feet over the net, because you've got to step back, then jump. Otherwise, you end up jumping backwards, which makes it extremely difficult to hit.
Well, big momentum shift there. Game number 1, IPFW 16-14. They were trailing 11-9 at one point. After being up 9-4, Stanford back with 7 straight. We're going to take a break right now and be back with Game 2 action right after this timeout.
For over 2 millennia, Western society has generated a rich visual tradition of painting, sculpture, and architecture. What do these images mean? How can we understand them? Art of the Western World will take you on an exciting journey that will suggest answers to these and other questions. Beginning in ancient Greece and ending on the brink of the future, it will examine many of mankind's most enduring artistic achievements.
Vince, that new dummy cam is great.
Yeah, it'll sure give people a whole new outlook on what it's like when you don't wear a safety belt.
I think they'll get the picture.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Mental illness. We fear it. We laugh at it.
This guy's lost his
We
mind.
scorn it.
Lost his wig.
We think it's shameful. But these are misunderstandings. Misunderstandings that will fade away if we see mental illness for what it really is. A medical disease. A disease that can be treated if you just know where to turn. For an informative booklet, call the American Mental Health Fund.
Welcome back to the Hillier Gate Sports Center. IPFW winner of game number 1, 16-14. And Stanford made a run there, 7 straight points. And it was really due to Canyon Seaman and his great setting. Right now he doesn't have many options, but had a chance to catch up with Canyon yesterday. Talk with him about what he does as a setter. He's player of the year. Here's what Canyon had to say.
Like to do, what type of offense you like to run?
I try to run whatever the opposing blockers are weakest at. I look at the block every play and see where their probably their weakest blocker is, and I try to set at him. I like to run a lot of combos because I think no matter how good a blocker you are, those are tough to stop. I simply exploit our strengths and hopefully the other team's weaknesses. So it varies with every team we play.
Tell me about some of your hitters and what you like to do with them.
Canyon is the leader on this team. Stanford 6th in the nation in kill percentage, about 36% of all kill attempts working for the Cardinal. And Tim, a couple players sort of disappeared in that first game for Stanford. Matt Furbringer, he leads the nation in kills per game at 7+. He sort of disappeared, and Lambert was the only option really for Seaman down the stretch drive.
Yeah, you know, it's a complex game, but when you serve tough, it makes the game really simple. I mean, the game becomes extremely simple when the serves are tough, and it makes the passers move a lot. And Furbringer is more of a combination type of hitter, so if that pass is not there, he's not going to be able to get set.
Good point, Tim. And Lambert starts off game number 2 with a service error. Saw it last night. IPFW was able to take the middle away from Long Beach State by simply serving aggressively. See, they were able to run the middle right here that time. Wells, it's upped by Almodovar.
Craig made a bad error there. It looks like it's Brad's mistake, but it's actually not. Craig was setting the ball to an outside hitter who's front row, and Norman had just dove on the ground, and there's no way he's there, so Craig's got to realize that and set that ball to the back row.
Two-man block in the middle, but Almodovar with the kill, sign out.
But just to finish that thought on Furbringer, he's opposite the setter, which puts him in the utility, which makes him a combo type hitter. And if you don't pass the ball like they did just there, it's extremely tough to get him the ball, and because they're so offensively oriented, he's got to see a ton of balls. Otherwise the load transfers to Lambert, and I'm not sure he can handle that much offense.
2 quick kills for Eric Wells over the middle. That ball's still alive, got to get it over this time.
Nice set by Mike. Excellent set, just an excellent set. He's a middle hitter, and middle hitters are traditionally known for not for their hands. They usually call them stone hands because they don't set very well. But Mike's got a nice pair of hands there and put up a very hittable set.
Still at 0-0. Ooh, communication breakdown and more into the net, point for IPFW.
I'm not exactly sure what kind of play that was. Moore was extremely late if he was supposed to be a quick hitter there.
Nice serve by Termolin.
There he goes. He's on time that time.
Had already seen Stanford's strategy. They want to mix it up. They have gone to Wells and Moore. Really want to take advantage of the middle. Probably establish a middle and then work to the outside to Lambert and Furbringer. Collins on serve at 1-0, game number 2.
Very nice serve. Nice dig.
Perditis against the 2-man block, trying to key off the blockers with a cut shot.
Yeah, that's a little, that angle is a little too radical for his physical abilities there. He's got to go for a shot over the blocker off the hands.
Furbringer on serve. Service ace.
Serve looked like it had a little parachute that popped out of it. Dropped it right to the ground.
Tim, that's not term number 2.
No, I didn't expect it would be.
And the second service error of the game, number 2 for Stanford. Bad pass by Lambert.
Craig's got to make a better pass out of that tipped ball that Stanford gave him. It just gave Loy only one option again, and really it's an easier ball to pass up there so he can run some transition middle and get the 3 blockers off of Norman.
Another bad pass, and the only option, Proditis doesn't get it over. 4 hits. Point for Stanford. Ryan Moore on serve at 2-1 now.
There goes, Brad made 2 mistakes again. You know, he didn't make a good pass and then hits the ball into the net. You just can't do that.
And the third service error by Stanford, killing any chance for momentum for the Cardinal.
Very even match. I think we're in for a long match tonight.
Call on that one, Tim?
Called a lift on Pepa trying to knuckle the ball up there. I thought it was pretty clean, but she's got a different angle than I have. Pepa must have got his head hit by somebody's hand or something there. A little woozy.
Termolen, the takeoff, a little too far away from the ball that time. Yeah, they're trying to work on him to snap that arm.
Yeah, he's a little flat right now. He's just not really into the rhythm of the thing, and the Dons are just kind of like floating along here. A little bit of the excitement of that first game is worn off. People are a little like, okay, we got to get back, regroup.
We saw this happen last night. Long Beach State jumped out 8-1 in game number 2. And of course 14-6 before IPFW reeled off 10 straight.
You got to regenerate their bodies here and get it back up, get intense again.
This is Seaman on serve at 4-1, and boy, that knuckler really taking to the air currents. Off the blocker, Collins with a kill.
Nice shot, real nice shot. They're getting 2 blocks on our outside hitters at this point. Partly because the passing isn't as good, and partly because we're just becoming real predictable.
Big swing that time from Burkhardt. The line given and the line taken that time.
Kill inside out to Stanford. Over serving.
Ball called out. Really a close call there. Teams are just going through the motions at this point. They're looking for somebody to spark them with a dig. Something's got to happen here. Nice play by the Dons. And most teams are not ready for that because they don't know that Pepa and Loy have that kind of ability to connect on that type of pass. So new teams coming in here are not going to be ready for that at all.
Big kill attempt by Furbringer. Tim, I got to correct something that we've had wrong all night. Mike Hofer is number 4. I thought he was a little taller than 6'2". He is number 4. It's not Eric Wells in there. And how could you mess up Mike Hofer? He's a 6th in the nation at 46% clip. His hitting percentage. The block a little late in getting up that time. Proditis not in position to recover.
Arnie's got to get them going, fire them up here a little bit because they're just real flat at this point. Really going through the motions.
5-1 your score in game number 2, Stanford. Your leader. Wednesday evening, this Wednesday. Volley Dons back at it against Tri-State University. It's a non-conference matchup. Game will start at 7:30 if you can't make it out. can watch it on Channel 6. But the business at hand right now, Stanford, and we saw this against Long Beach State where IPFW just sort of relaxed. Let Long Beach State inch out to that lead and then had to try and put a great comeback together, which they did. I'm not so sure they can do it against a Stanford team with so much offense.
A lot harder, that's for sure. Nice side out. Because both of the teams are so side out or offensively oriented, runs become very few and far between. And if you drop very far behind, it even makes it even harder to come back when somebody has a lead.
Brian Moore with the kill.
And really one of the only ways you can do it is to get a string of jump serves going where you break their passing, their ability to pass the ball.
Fourth service error in this game for Stanford. Paper Rollat on serve. And the second service error in the game for Rollat.
Lambert's down this time, doesn't jump serve.
The kill is good by Almodovar. Seaman wanted a touch on Almodovar as he fell to the floor, claiming that the block hit him. But it's a side out, Lloyd ball on the jump. Mike Termolen in the net, side out for Stanford. And we've hit one of these lulls again where both teams are siding out.
For the Cardinals.
Craig not able to put that one inside the antenna. Stanford now on a run at 6-1, a run of 1 point. Seaman going to Burkhart, double block up, still alive. Furbringer gets it over.
Nice
Collins one-on-one. Furbringer turns it inside.
Yeah, that was a really nice set, and for some reason Craig thought he had the line, and Furbringer was already out there on it, and he needed to pull that ball cross court in a big way.
When there's just one blocker on the outside, is there an idea behind wanting to take the line away or giving the middle? It depends on the player or what's more effective.
Well, traditionally, I mean, when you have one blocker up, the cross court is usually open 9 times out of 10 because the outside blocker is expecting the middle blocker to come over and fill that part of the block. A really good outside blocker will notice when the middle blocker doesn't get there and then dive inside, what we call dive inside, to fill that hole, that cross-court hit, because the cross-court hit is easier to hit than a down-the-line hit, because you got more space or more room for air. So anytime, if you have any doubt as a hitter against a single blocker, always hit the ball cross-court. But if you see the outside hitter or the outside blocker dive in, then you want to pull it down the line.
This is Mike Hofer on serve. Kill attempt good by Rollat. Hofer's grown 5 inches between game 1 and 2 there. Just we've been calling him Eric Wells tonight. And number 4 is Mike Hofer.
Tight set. You know, again, you get that tight set there, and late approach. He's going to tip the ball, and Craig's just got to come down, turn around, play that ball up because it's only about 2 feet away from the net.
Quick set that time for that is not having any help along the sideline. Now we're going to see a timeout by Arnie Ball. And you might see a substitution as well. Stanford your leader in game number 2, 8-2. Channel 6 is now accepting applications for underwriting and televising of IPFW sports events and other programs. For more information about how your business or organization can utilize this opportunity, call the Channel 6 office during business hours, 481-6000. Tim, in game 2, it's been a Stanford team that has moved the ball around. They went to the middle first early. They went to Hofer and Moore in the middle. And even Burkhart got some early swings, and now they're bringing it back to their guns, Lambert and Verbringer.
They're definitely not making any mistakes. They're just being real conservative. They're playing a conservative game, and the Dons have gone from a really high-intense game to a very low-intense game right now.
Verditis, that's a decent pass.
No block up, you got to pound that ball. Brad's got to pound that ball with no block up. He ends up rolling the ball, and they pick it up.
Burkhart on serve, Joe Burkhart. One of 2 seniors on this Stanford team. Tough set that time by Relat. I don't know if that was a good decision. Here's our first substitution of the night for IPFW.
Going to see if they can't switch some things up here, bring in some new people. I think get them some fresh inspirational type of folks in there.
Carlos Soler played well last night, came in off the bench, had some big swings, and he's going to get one here. And set a little too far. Now Stanford, IPFW in transition, gives it right back. Block with a put down.
That's the play they needed. They need to pick it up. Crowd, they got to get the crowd back in this to help them uplift their intensity level here.
Collins tough on serve, and that one didn't tick the net. Burkhart had to slide and get to that one. It is a service error, however. Matt Verbringer on serve at 10-2. Great serve that time.
Pretty nice shot by Loy there. Dumped it back over the top. Knew the blockers were going to be there because the pass was so fast. Blockers naturally react to jump with a fast pass like that.
Verbringer, Solar not at home.
And I was just watching our blockers. Definitely not penetrating the net like they were before, just kind of going up and hoping the ball hits them maybe a little bit instead of being real aggressive, penetrating, driving over that net.
Stuart Chong, number 6, in. Ryan Moore going to take a seat. That time off the block, Loy Ball with a dink. And Relat, another service error.
Don's losing a little focus. Lost to their intensity, losing their focus. Got to concentrate.
Nice bump set by Termolin. Almodovar with a put down.
Got a little
Verbringer back row, missing long.
Yeah, this is what the Dons need. They need them to make a couple of mistakes to get them back into the game here. Make them feel as though that they can actually take this game like they did last night.
Service ace. Burkhart could not pull his body back in time. And that's one of the things about serving aggressively. You serve to different parts of the body. Shoulder area is one place you want to put the ball.
Definitely.
Oh, almost got another one there.
That ball was touched, I believe. Somebody touched that ball.
In between Lambert and Burkhart. Lambert laughing a little bit about that serve.
I think he knows he touched it.
Might have got away with one. Stanford on serve at 10-4. Solar with a pass. Verbringer just.
It's a great hit. That's just a great hit right there. The ball's set low, tight, inside. He goes up, he sees the hands, and he's launching. He's actually aiming for the top corner of the roof and launches it off the hands of the blockers for a kill.
Collins that time stuffing it down against Burkhart and Hofer.
You know, the Dons got a long way to climb back in this game if they're going to do it.
Almodovar on serve at 4-11. Verbringer on the outside. Found a seam in the block that time. Substitutions for Stanford. Brian Moore coming back in. Chong out. Hofer also sitting down. J.B. Taylor, number 30, on serve. That time Burkhart and Moore got a piece of it. And the blocker, once he comes down, is supposed to spin and look for the ball.
Yeah, he spun and looked, but he didn't look up in the air where the ball generally will be. He's looking at the rest of his players, and the rest of his players were like, hey, man, look up in the air, and by the time he does that, it's too late.
Side out IPFW, Steve Simonson in.
Steve, it's 11-4. I believe it was 14-6 the last time we were in this kind of a situation here.
Verbringer off the two-man block. One thing he likes to do is tool it off the block, that time high off of paper roulette. Burkhart just ticks the net, another service error for Stanford.
Nice serve.
Service ace.
Got to move in that time. That's the key as a server. You've got to make your target move. You got to make that passer move, and it becomes a much tougher pass when that happens. There it is again.
Big swing. Boy, talk about the live arm. Lambert bringing the gun. Service error, not even close. Verbringer, middle of the net. IPFW with another chance at 5-11. Cardo Soler has the one signal from Coach Ball in full view of the Stanford players.
Oh, nice.
Tough serve, and Simonson.
Ball's just got to be blocked because that ball goes right through the blockers, and you just can't dig that ball.
Absolutely. Simonson in position, so if the ball was hit around the block, he was there to cover.
Don's got to start penetrating on their block again.
Ball off the top of Mike Hofer. Hofer late getting up. You can forget sometimes that Lloyd Ball can attack when he's in that front row.
Nice serve again by the Dons. Are serving tougher now. Not penetrating yet, though. They got the serve down. They're getting the double block up, but they just got to reach over that net.
Almodovar is one of the best blockers on this IPFW team. Collins off Burkhart. Tim, I really believe that Craig Collins has to step up his play for IPFW to have any chance at doing some damage if they do indeed get to the Final Four. So there with the up, Roulette back row, tried to go off the fingertips. Stanford wisely pulling down. They had a three-man block up anyway.
Yeah, he's got to put that ball into the corners or tip it. Anytime you get a three-person block up there like that. It's a great dig by Ricky.
Down the line, Almodovar. And another side out. Points are hard to come by here. Two big offensive teams. Verbringer off the block that time.
Just
it went right through Mike Termolin's arms.
Yeah, it's not as though they're hitting the ball high off the hands. If they're hitting the ball high off the hands and that was happening, that's one thing. But that ball's clearing the net about 2 inches above the net. That ball's got to be blocked.
Soler not setting his feet that time. Free ball for Stanford. Furbringer makes IPFW pay. This one could go overtime tonight. We're only in game 2.
We're definitely in for a long game, long match tonight.
Mike Hofer on serve.
Knuckled that ball up. That's what we call the old knuckle shot. Saw Canyon here, if you get a chance to see the replay, he wasn't in position to set the ball, and the ball's too high to pass, so he ends up making a knuckle. He takes his forefinger and index finger and makes a raised knuckle out of it and pops the ball up in the air with that. Another technique invented, I think, by the beach players because they have to cover a lot of court and always can't get their bodies in position to play the ball correctly. So they end up doing that.
And Canyon Seaman is probably going to play some beach ball afterwards. As Furbringer with the block on Soler. Finished 9th in a beach tournament last year. He's on the B team right now, the national B team. Volleyball is on the national team. The B team is one step removed, and the national team really the Olympic team in essence. So Canyon might do some beach volleyball. Burkhardt up with it. Boy, it pushed that time. Seaman gets away with it.
Could have called that one. Not a great pass there. Nice set by Loy. He's facing Stanford and sets the ball back to Craig. It's an excellent set. It's not an easy set to make.
Collins on serve at 5-13. Moore with the off speed. Soler blocked by Moore, and that's the big block, 6'7" and 6'9". Really didn't have much choice of where he was going to hit that ball.
He's another one who's got to learn how to hit the ball high off the hands. And you just can't pull the ball down straight every time. Launched that one.
And Furbringer, you make a good point, Tim, when you say that Stanford is hitting the ball 2 inches off the net. Furbringer's the only guy, and IPFW's got to put this in their computer banks there, that he's the guy that wants to go off the fingertips.
That's right. He's the only one. The rest of them are going straight down. Furbringer's going high, hitting high, and Ricky's just got to pick it up as a sub. I mean, you come into a game, you've got to pick it up intensity-wise. You got to talk it up. You're in there for not just to play the game, but to pick your teammates up.
Brian Moore on serve at 13-6. There's the tight offense by IPFW. IPFW runs a tight offense. Really, Coach Paul breaks it down to two offenses, Tim. The tight offense.
What do you mean by the tight offense?
Well, the tight offense, by that I mean when they have a good pass like that, they like to run the ball. They like to run Loy ball. Finish his point here. Another transition play. Termolen up with it is Moore. Two-man block. Almodovar, Loy ball.
We got some penetration that time, and that's what the Dons are going to have to continue to do, is to reach over the net like that.
Here you see the replay one more time.
We got a bad pass here. We're going to have to give Dons a free ball. Got to pass the ball better than that, though.
Almodovar, is it off the blockers? We had a touch. Now there's some disagreement here. Patty Salvatore's making the call, and Ruben Nieves, the Stanford coach.
Patty says she saw the ball in, and if she sees the ball in, that's it.
So 2 straight points for IPFW. The whistle now, Relat.
13-8 is the score here. Don's making a bit of a run here. They need that. And we'll be back here after a few messages.
A lot of my friends have already retired. But I wasn't ready for that. So I'm still teaching. This time in Belize, Central America. I decided to join the Peace Corps. I love my kids. And the way I figure it, I have the rest of my life to play cards.
Peace Corps, the toughest job you'll ever love.
Welcome back to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. The timeout called by Stanford, with Relat on serve and 2 straight points for IPFW. There's a combination play, one-on-one. That is huge.
Big penetration.
Now this will be interesting to see where Seaman goes with this next play. I think he might go to Furbringer.
I think he'll go back to, we won't find out.
4th service error for Paper Relat in the second game. Tim just finished on that point. We're talking about the tight offense a little bit ago for IPFW. That's in relation to where the ball is put on the court for Lloyd Ball.
Right, if the ball is passed off the net, the setter or the middle hitter has to go away from the setter. And so the middle hitter cannot be right next to Lloyd. In essence, it takes the ball a longer time to get to the middle hitter if the middle hitter is not right next to him because of the pass.
Here's a good rotation for IPFW. Got the big block with Termol and Almodovar.
There's a smart hit. See that? Again, they see the hands. It's a tight set. He's trapped. It's called a trap set, and he's zinging for the top rafters there, and he catches the hands out of bounds.
Almodovar one-on-one, going down the line more than we've seen him in any other time this year.
Dons need to pick it up. Boy, it'd be big lift if they could win this game after being down so far. Serves a little too easy, I think.
Furbringer blocked by Collins, failed to turn it inside.
Yeah, he always, for some reason, when he gets on that side of the court, blocking outside, his right shoulder comes off the net, and when it hits his right arm, it goes out of bounds every time. Been working on it in practice a lot, just can't seem to get it down yet.
Back set for Soler. That was off the fingertips.
Yep,
Lambert with the right play. Furbringer with the kill. Paper Relat, he's found some perspiration on the court.
Yeah, he's trying to slow things down here. Get a towel out there, take a little extra time, becomes a timeout basically is what it does. Nice job, smart play by a veteran there.
Well, it's game point number 2. Stanford had a swing at it in game 1. This is Relat in the giveaway. Stanford wins game number 2, 15-9. So we're even at 1 apiece.
That was a pretty weak attempt by the Dons there in that final point. They got to go after it much harder than that, those last couple of points there.
We'll be back with game number 3, and we'll also have a special guest up here, Blake Sebring of the New Sentinel. He went out to the West Coast with IPFW a couple weeks ago, saw them out there, and has thoughts about UCLA. We'll be back.
Team spirit is alive and well at IPFW. That's because IPFW has established itself as an athletic power, not only regionally, but nationally. With 11 major sports, IPFW offers talented student athletes great opportunities. Success and support of IPFW athletics comes solely from the fans, students, faculty, alumni, and the prestigious Royal Dons Club. The Royal Dons Athletic Club has over 500 members who financially support IPFW athletics, enabling the university to provide scholarships to deserving athletes. Members will receive one or all of the following: season passes to all sporting events, special seating, hospitality room, plus Royal Dons apparel and gifts. In May of '94, IPFW will host the men's collegiate Final Four volleyball championships. Royal Dons will be first in line to purchase preferred seating. Be a part of the winning tradition. Join the Royal Dons Club. We need your support. Call IPFW Athletics. Get into the team spirit.
My hero? Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Costner, Mr. Wong.
These are teachers, but to the kids they've reached, they're heroes.
My hero? Mrs. Wooten. If I don't get through to that child, who knows, maybe no one else will.
Teachers have the power to wake up young minds, to be heroes, to make a difference. Reach for that power. Teach. Find out how by calling 1-800-45-TEACH. Be a teacher. Be a hero.
What comes to your mind when you think about mathematics? Clowns, street sweepers, the Red Sox, robots, the weather, earthquakes, Disney World, pineapples, conventions, parking tickets, fishing? If these practical applications of contemporary mathematics didn't make your list, you should watch public television's math series For All Practical Purposes.
Welcome back to the Harrier Gate Sports Center. I'm Paul Farbaugh, joined right now by Blake Sebring, the fine beat writer. He does the Comet Hockey for the News Sentinel and also does IPFW. Probably hard to split up your two loves there, Blake. But Blake, you went out to the West Coast with IPFW. You were just out there taking a little vacation time, happened to stop in and watch them play UCLA. UCLA is really legit.
Yeah, I think you could take an all-star team of all the other teams in the country and you wouldn't beat UCLA right now. They are just playing out of their minds.
Tell me a little bit about what you think of this Stanford team you've seen here tonight.
Well, Stanford, it's pretty interesting that IPFW's defense is designed to stop Furbringer and Lambert, and they're not stopping them. I mean, Furbringer's got 26 kills already, and Lambert's got 17. I mean, they've got it perfectly set up to stop them, but they haven't done it yet.
You also made the point, too, there during the break, Stanford, yeah, they're a young team. We see the freshmen out there, you know, the Moore, and you look at
Furbringer.
Furbringer's leading the nation in kills per game.
Right, but they're redshirt freshmen.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're actually at the end of their sophomore season, so it's not quite the same thing. Plus, when you got Canyon Seaman as your setter, that adds a year of experience right there.
Well, talking with both coaches, Ray Rattil from the West Coast, he's a Long Beach State coach, and also with the Stanford coach, Ruben Nieves. They both feel that UCLA is going to come out of that West bracket out there, and it's sort of up in the air who is going to. They really, and I talked at length with Ray Rattil about this, the Long Beach coach, as we see a shot there of Ruben Nieves, that it's really a toss-up. Anybody could come out of there, maybe even a BYU.
Yeah, BYU smashed USC last week, 3-0. I think Stanford's going to be coming out because it's at the tournament's at their place, and they play really well at their place. Got a lift.
Good start for IPFW. They fell in a big hole in game number two rather, after winning game one, 6-1. And it was the same story last night. They got down to Long Beach State 8-1, and you just can't do it with a team that can side out like Stanford. Long Beach State was more of a defensive team.
Yeah, I think IPFW managed to win back some of the momentum, though, at the end of the second game there by coming back.
Oh, that was a big lift. 10 straight points in that second game. I know we keep harping on it, but it was sort of amazing. Pernitis coming through with a kill.
Well, hey, Paul, see you later. I got to go back to work.
Blake, you got to go back to work. Read his article. That'll be in Monday. News Sentinel, thanks for stopping by, Blake. Appreciate it. Tim Heffron back on the headset. No, we didn't get rid of you, Tim, buddy.
We didn't what?
We didn't get rid of you.
I'm still hired?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've got a point, huh? One for the good guys. Nice dig. Hopefully Pepe here can serve a little better, have a little better focus, I think, in this game. The service, had 4 service errors last game. Kind of uncharacteristic for him. I think Canyon's cheating a little bit on his release out of the back row. Pingle may pick that up there as the second referee is supposed to be watching the receiving team. to make sure everybody's in rotation when the service actually occurs.
Tim, we can explain that a little more for the audience at home. By that, the front row and the back row has to be sort of distinct. A player has to be behind the person in the front row in the rotation.
Right, you have to be, the actual definition is to be in rotation. You have to be on the proper side of the people who are adjacent to you. So if you are middle back, say, you have to worry about the person who is right back, left back, and middle front. Those are the three people who are adjacent to you.
So we'll take a look at Seaman and see if he is fudging a little bit. Big block that time, Brian Moore in the middle.
It's unfortunate, one-on-one with a 2-ball. Norman's just got to put that ball away. So just to finish that thought on out of rotation, if you're the middle back, you cannot be on the right side of a right back, of the right back player.
What a one-handed set that time. Termolin up for it.
Mike a little late there. He knows it. If he's on time, he gets a kill. If he's late, play doesn't work, it looks awful.
I think they might go right back to him because he was wide open that time. Indeed.
There he goes.
We see that so often that when a player makes a mental error, the setter, the quarterback of the team goes right back to him. You want the confidence factor because you need all your weapons.
Exactly. The smart setters do that. Not every setter. The ones who are properly trained will do that. Kenya Seaman does that pretty well.
2-1 Stanford. This is Moore on serve. Great serve. Oh, and a better set. Now, does Loy call that while it's in the air, or is Collins just prepared for it and ready to go with it?
It's a pre-play. It's a pre-set play where Collins is already there, and Loy knows he's going to be there and expects him to be there.
Almodovar, the dig. Hernandez off the blockers. Still 2 to get it over now. And Furbringer bringing the heat from the outside. And Blake had some numbers for us. Out of the second game already, he had Furbringer with 26 kills unofficially.
Wow.
And that's sort of been silent. I mean, I know he's been doing a lot of damage on the outside, but amazing. And Burkhart, Hofer. I think that's a solo block by Burkhart, however. That set a little too tight. Stanford had the cross court covered up.
Yeah, they did.
A little too tight to the net. Overpass, Hofer. Boy, that was a giveaway by Hofer.
Free ball time.
And both teams poor transition play. And IPFW gets the side out.
They desperately need it. They're in a little disarray here offensively. They're not passing well. Brad's got to get his feet back under him here, get some more confidence back on it. There's a nice block. Oh, just out. Good block, though. It's a really nice job by the Dons there. They're starting to figure out the offense, penetrating a little better on the block. That's going to help them out. Serves a little deep there. Brad's moving his feet. That's good to see. Got to have that. Tough serve. Nice play. You get a swing out of it. Here we go. It's an overpass. It's out. That's a point. Nice job by the Dons. And again, the ball is flipped up off of the blocker's hands. And if you're middle back, you got to stay back there so you can get that dig in.
2-3, Proditis on serve.
Very nice serve.
Almodovar, that's a tough pass.
Nice play, but he's under the net.
Underneath, Moore is underneath.
Very nice play defensively there by Burkhart. He's done a really nice job for Stanford as far as keeping the ball in play, digging up some things, making some tough passes.
And For a lot going on Lambert. They like that rotation when they have Lambert back there. No, Burkhardt has done an excellent job tonight. His passing has really made it much easier for Seaman. IPFW has served very well. I think if you ask Coach Ball after the match, he'd be very pleased with the serving thus far.
Free ball, it's still in play, it's good.
That does count as a hit for Stanford, and a two-man block. Not the smartest play, a poor decision by Loy that time.
Yeah, he's not mixing up the offense very well. I mean, maybe he thinks the passes aren't good enough to mix the offense up on, but he's really got to start getting some people, some one-on-ones here.
Burkhardt a little light on the toss that time. Didn't have enough air underneath. Ball on serve at 2-4. Overpass, transition opportunity. Almodovar off the blockers.
Now that's the smart hit that a veteran can do. He's got the blocker up with him. It's a little tight. He whales the ball high off his hands out of bounds.
The high set allowing Almodovar to see where the blockers were. He had his mind made up before he jumped, and that's a service ace.
Nice job. Might see a timeout here by Stanford.
And interesting too, Canyon Seaman has been around. He just goes over to Patty Salvatore, the up referee tonight, after each serve.
It's a great set by Canyon. He had to almost push one of his players out of the way to get to the ball, and then fired outside in a hittable position for Lambert to hit. Just a nice play by Stanford.
Shanked by Proditis. Ball still alive. Collins with a big swing. That time getting a little horizontal, broad jumping and waiting for that high set.
Yeah, he jumped early and brought the block up early too, because he jumped, and then he waited and then waited and waited and then finally hit it by the time the block was back down on the ground.
Lambert.
Yeah, if Furbringer has that many kills, he might be headed towards a new NCAA record as far as kills in a match.
This one is destined, I think, to go 5, Tim.
And it could, and if it does, I mean, it's just 26 kills in one game is unheard of. I mean, that's a match for most people.
That was up to the first two. That was through the first two.
The first two, okay.
But they keep going to him. Lambert and Furbringer have been the guns. Time mixing it up in the middle. Hofer with a kill. We're tied at 4 apiece. And this is a stretch of the game where teams have made runs before, right around the 9-point mark.
It is, and it's a test of endurance, actually. You know, they both know they can side out. They're both pounding away. It's like who makes the first mistake or who can last the longest with their offense.
Service ace, Craig Collins. Burkhardt a little crossed up that time. The float serve was moving.
It's a nice serve by Craig.
No rotation on that ball. Craig hits that ball just a little below the midline. Pick it up here. That time he got a little spin on it.
Yeah. He gets that spin because he tosses the ball back on top of him, and you know, we've worked on it, we've talked about it. It's just too natural. He's just formed a bad habit that he just continues to do.
Slide around took a long time to develop.
And they had 2 blockers on it too. I mean, they can see that stuff coming. Dons have to mix it up.
One thing I've noticed, and it's just a style point, Seaman really does set the ball a little lower and a little tighter. Even the set to the outside there to Furbringer. Proditis with the dink, that's all he could do with it.
Nice job. We had somebody was in the way of Loy setting that ball. That's what Arnie's talking to Craig about there. He says, hey, get out of the way so you go hit the ball and let Loy set.
6-4 IPFW out in front in game number 3.
This can be a very critical game. Of course, Game 3 always is because it gives you one game away from the match, and Dons need to get out and get that lead early in this match.
Stanford going to talk it over. We'll be right back with more action.
Tom Laverdetta's book on electrical engineering technology is required reading at dozens of universities in America and abroad. At IPFW, students learn from the expert who wrote the book. Being a successful scholar and teacher isn't unusual at IPFW. To find out for yourself, you could check out the faculty's books. Even better, check out their classes. Call admissions today to learn how you can become a student at IPFW, where experts teach.
Seaman and Hofer combining. And once again, when Stanford gets behind a little bit, they run a very simple offense.
They do. They want to make sure they get a very hittable play going that has a high rate of success.
Volleyball spotting where Seaman was on the floor.
In some respects, they're very conservative on their play calls. Dons are a little more complex, but they make sure that somebody gets a good swing every single time.
And a service error long by Roland.
Service error, side out. Bernhardt to serve.
Oh, he's changing his serve up here. He didn't go to the jump floater. Maybe he's running out of steam himself. Kenyon doesn't know exactly where to play defense against Loy. He's put it one way, he's put it the other. He's got him crossed up there a little bit. And I tell you what,
service ace.
Of all the folks on this court here, I'd be willing to bet that Loy Ball is in the best shape of everybody. Works out 2-3 times a day. If we're gonna have a long match, you want him on your side.
And that serve is long. As a matter of fact, after practice, this was about a 2.5-hour practice the other day. After practice was all said and done, Loy Ball was over by the bleachers doing sets of crunchers. He was there quite a while too, maybe 5 minutes, modified sit-ups, just working out. He had a 15% body fat this summer. He's working out, never got much time, playing time. I don't think he got any playing time at all in the World University Games. And when that came back, the test came back for the body fat percentage, Loy Ball knew he had to do something. Now it's down around 8. Very fit, he's dropped 20 pounds, and that's made a lot of difference. He gets to more balls now than he could have ever dreamed of getting to last year.
Definitely, he can last longer too. He just jump and jump and jump. He's doing a lot of jump serves. It takes a lot of effort to do that. The person who can go the longest, you know, it's like the little things that make the difference.
Brian Garrett in the game for Stanford. Boy, tough set that time by Roland. For Roland, rather. Oh, man!
That was absolute luck. I want to tell you, and Lambert knows it. He's going back shaking his head because he knows that Mike is just throwing a hand up in a prayer to get a touch on the ball, and Mike actually gets the stuff.
Mike's still laughing about that. Termolen threw the right hand out there, taking away the line. Another block for Didas. And that time Lambert trying to go off the fingertips. Had 2 blockers up, spotted 2 blockers.
That's unusual for him. Again, he's not hitting the way he was before. He might be fatiguing here.
8-4 IPFW. A good serve by Termolen. Collins with some good hang. Soler, it's still up 2 to get it over. Oh, that time the block was there. It was set and Proditis pulled back.
For some reason, the block didn't get that ball. They really should have had an easy block there. I don't know if they
well, I tell you,
thumb or something.
At 8-4, that could be a momentum shifter. We'll have to wait it out. Well, so much for that theorem.
And yeah, it's the Dons are coming on strong here. You know, if they can pull out a point here and pull ahead here at a decent rate, they're going to be in good shape.
Furbringer right over the block that time. 3 men up and ready to go, and just a little late. Furbringer caught that one on the rise.
Obviously, Furbringer is not fatiguing at this point.
We'll try and get a definitive number on his kills. He's on a good pace. Hofer with a big swing inside. And Stanford starting to come back, a little momentum of their own. IPFW had broken away from a 4-4 tie to 8-4. Now it's 5-8. And Seaman on serve. Bad pass by Perditis. Lambert digging it out. It is wide.
Nice swing by Brad. That's just a really good swing. You know, you pass and made a tough pass. It's a good serve, but he's got to pass it better. But he made a heck of a swing and didn't make 2 errors in a row.
And that ball hit the floor.
And then he got an excellent serve off there. Here we go. We're at 9-5. They need another one now. Time to break away again.
Boy, that is a solid front row for IPFW to do some damage.
They're in trouble. Here's your chance for a free ball now.
Relat, Almodovar, and Ball in the front row. And Almodovar getting the call. And boy, Stanford's got to get some focus back right now. They are disoriented.
He's going to call a timeout here, I think. I would if I were him.
He does call a timeout. 10-5 IPFW. Uncle Mo back on the Volleyball side.
Nice
We'll
job
take a
with the
timeout.
intensity.
We'll take a timeout, Tim. Sorry to cut you off there, buddy.
You made it.
Hey, I couldn't have gotten through physics without you.
Yeah, well, you're on your own at college.
It's not fair.
That's all right. I'm going to get a job, you know. I'm start working, I'm save. And I'll be in college in another year or 2.
So, what do you have planned, Mike?
I think I'm going to go home and make a sandwich.
Support the United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Welcome back to the Gates Sports Center. I'm Paul Farbaugh, joined by Tim Heffron, IPFW women's volleyball coach. Game 3, best of 5. Big block that time, Relat in the middle.
Ooh.
And Relat not going up with Hofer.
That may have been a superstar call there. Patty didn't call Canyon on a setting error. I thought that ball stuck in his hands there and had a little double, but she let him fly with it. So
now, Tim says the double hit not called. J.B. Taylor into serve for Stanford. Boy.
Bad play. Started with a bad pass, and set became low, and Norman never got outside to hit it. Went from bad to worse to awful.
That time Seaman, not sure if that ball was going to stay in bounds or not. Last possible moment, decided to try and play it.
It was heading for that corner. Nice. Here we go. Come on.
Oh, one-on-one, Lambert beating Termolin. And both jawing through the net. Lambert a little frustrated that Termolin got a piece of that one-handed block the last time, and Termolin.
He almost terminated that one in a big way.
The Terminator, huh? 6'7". Mike probably goes about 170.
Out.
Burkhart with his service error.
Dons need to get a point again. They got to maintain this 5-point lead, I believe. Just got to maintain that.
Burkhart, nice pass. And the whiff that time, just into the contest, Brian Garrett.
That's a gutsy set there to set the new guy like that. I'm not sure I would have done that.
He's been in the rotation now, but that's his first swing. He's been in. This time we've called the number, Relat. Kill is good. Ball was in before Relat came underneath. Or do we have a net violation? It's on Lambert. It's on Lambert.
Normie's just having a heck of a time serving the ball in with his floater. You just got to pick it up at the end of games like this, and we're getting into that crunch time here. We're in double digits, and that's when you want to pick up your intensity. Another jump floater. Oh! And we made a serious freshman error, and he knows it because Loya's back row. He went up like he was going to block, brought his hands down because he's back row. He can't touch the ball, but faked him out. He faked Lambert out and forced him to hit the ball out of bounds.
And that's 4 hits. Lambert into the scoring table. Lambert is a sophomore, but this is a super young team. We talked about it when Blake was up here. Even though you've got some freshmen out there, Furbringer. And we'll watch this point here. Seaman back setting Furbringer off the fingertips, still alive. The dink. Boy, that time Proditis had the dink there.
Boy, I tell you, they go right back to Furbringer when they're in trouble, don't they?
Woo. Absolutely.
Here you can see it again here. Can't tip that ball. You got to take a swing at that ball. We had a good chance at a swing, and Brad elected to roll it.
Oh, the first time we've seen the shoot set tonight, 31.
Nice swing by Pepa. Crossed his body and down. Got that 5-point lead. Now let's expand on it here.
See if Collins, good serve that time. Burkhart missing wide, or did IPFW get a piece? They did indeed.
We've got net on Loy. Net on Loy. It's too bad, too. Loy's forcing people to hit the ball out of bounds if he can just stay out of the net.
Well, that was a very pretty set that time. Proditis took a nice line and approach to it.
He sure is feeling his oats, it looks like. You know, he's really into the swing of things here. As you see, he's taking a good approach, seeing the block, going around it. That's what you got to do. Oh, he's got it.
How did he bring that one back? He touched the net, I believe. See if we can pick up Patty Salvatore. No.
And he doesn't like it at all. And I'm telling you, that was a throw and a half. And she should be carding him for talking to her like that, too.
Canyon had a few words, then turned his back and walked away.
Oh, ball's out.
Hofer missing wide, and Furbringer trying to get the team back together. IPFW on a run, 13-6.
This next ball's got to go to Furbringer. It's just got to, and Loy and Pepa got to set up outside right now. Here it comes. Oh, it goes inside.
Inside, crossing it up. Burkhart, saved by Ball, and it's over. Oh, and that time the block off of Relat. Just wide, but what a great effort by Loy Ball.
Fantastic, and the crowd appreciates it.
6'8", I guarantee he needed all of that. He reached across the scorer's table, which is about 3 feet deep, to get that ball.
It's a great play by IPFW.
The dink, did he catch fingertips?
No, he was too far over to go for that angle. If you're going to tip it and you're that far over, you've got to go towards the other angle.
13-7, we've lost the scoreboard now.
The lights are flicking on and off.
And a service error, we'll try and...
somebody's kicking the wires down there, it looks like.
Yeah, it probably didn't help that Loy Ball comes crashing into where they have the...
Exactly where it is there.
The scoreboard operator located at here. The Gate Sports Center. Furbringer.
Oh, big play. Big play by Canyon Seaman.
Oh, the hang that time. That set was up there so long. IPFW had the 3-man block. Lambert had nowhere he could go with it.
Here, as you can see it here, he didn't have a prayer. That's a wall. That's like hitting in a phone booth.
And this is for game number 3. Brian Garrett, 2 for 2 on his swings in the third game. 14-7. Collins back row.
Nice shot. That's a B set. They've lined up their back rows, and he hit a nice B. It's right in between those two blockers. Crowd's back up for this final point here. They want it now. Guys are looking for it.
Stuart Chong in the contest for Stanford now. He's number 6. Burkhart coming out. Burkhart's handled most of the passing. Boy, and they wanted to go right to Chong, tried to feed that seam there.
Crowd thought they had it. He just didn't get enough snap on that serve there. It floated more than normal.
And Almodovar with a bad pass, very rare.
Don's at 14-8. Critical that they close them out here and don't let them back in this game. Don't let them get any kind of momentum at all. Get the good pass, get the side out. Don't give them any kind of a prayer, any kind of a hope.
And that's how you do it. Almodovar. Furbringer, he took Furbringer out of the play on this serve, and Collins.
It's a nice swing there, just off Craig's hands or his head there, one or the other.
Another bad pass by Almodovar. Boy, and a gift that time by Hofer. IPFW gives it right back. And Hofer up with it, gesturing to Volleyball.
They're getting in disarray again here. They're just not getting an offense going. You've got to have an offense when you get that free ball.
And IPFW is going to take a timeout. Right now it is 14-9 in game 3. We're tied at 1 apiece in games. And the game within a game. I know I've talked to both players, Canyon and Loy, about it's not really setter against setter. Yet it is tonight because both players are vying for an Olympic spot. As we mentioned before, Loy is on the national team. He has been invited and will go out to San Diego as soon as the season is over. Canyon is a B team member. Talked with Canyon about it. Here's what he had to say about the competition between the two.
The perception's kind of irrelevant, I think. We both know that it's a team game, and especially as setters, you just have to try to set your hitters, and hopefully they'll put the ball away. You can't do anything without a good pass, and you can't do anything if the hitter makes a hitting error. So I don't know if a competition between setters is that exciting to watch. It's just two good players on the court having good control of the game and giving their teammates the best opportunity to perform as they can. And I think hopefully we'll both, or maybe one of us, get a chance to do that in the Olympics. And if not, then I think we'll have successful volleyball careers elsewhere. So.
Last night, he didn't get an opportunity to do this last night, but he's got one tonight, and he's psyched for it.
He serves the 5 zone rather well. Can't get it up to push it over. That might have been the point of the match right there.
That could be. Stanford has definitely picked up the level of intensity here, and the Dons got to respond. It's 14-10 as you can see that play. Just couldn't get her back over the net. Dons have got to come up with a side out here. They got to start passing again. They're getting real lax on their passing for some reason all of a sudden. Got to pick it back up here.
And another service error.
Here we go. Craig's got to get us one here. I'd load up on Lambert if I were the Dons at this point.
He floats one back. Burkhart is back in to do some passing. Dugout almost got over, but hit one of the speakers over the net. So it's side out for Stanford.
Definitely Stanford's feeling their oats again. The Dons have let them back in this a little bit here.
It was 14-7 at one point, 3 straight points for Stanford. And Verloc got away with one that time. Lambert right in position, just shanked it. They may have been a little surprised at how slow that kill attempt came across the net.
Fans back on their feet. They're just not going to sit down for that game point.
Simonson trying to dig it out.
Arnie's not happy with Brad's serving selection there. He didn't serve the ball. I just know he didn't because he served right in the middle of the court. You can't do that. You got to be aggressive on game point.
Collins back row, no one up, and he misses. Oh, that's a big error.
Man, that's a huge error because he's got no block up. He's just got to terminate that ball.
Craig not quite on top of the ball tonight as he was last night.
Don's trouble with passing again. Here we go again.
Hofer digs it up. Now Burkhart has to dump it. And a one-on-one block. Ralat there to terminate Garrett.
Here we go at 14-11. We're subbing Mike. We got a double sub here.
That's right. Termolen in for Simonson. And Ralat has had trouble with the service error. Scott Lauer's going to come in beyond the service line.
Lauer's got a nice serve, too, I might add. Hopefully he's going to stay aggressive and go for it. You've got to go for it on game point here. Can't be safe. Can't be cautious. Too cautious. Too easy.
Dug out by Lauer. Now Seaman the reset. Verbringer! Volleyball, Norman Almodovar.
Oh, they love it too. The fans love it. Verbringer's seen a lot, but the Dons are outlasting him here. And again, we've got a 2-1 lead now for the Dons. They've got to come out strong and heavy. And again, don't let Stanford think that they're in this match now. Put them away.
We'll be right back with Game 4 action after these messages.
Going to a college where the only faculty who regularly shows for your anatomy lab is this guy? St. Francis College. Smaller classes, personal attention, a better education. Going to a college where this is the most important tool in your communications lecture?
Is this on? Is this on?
St. Francis College. Smaller classes, personal attention, a better education.
Safety belts. You don't want to end up like Eddie. Belt up. Don't be a dummy.
Here's the game point replay here. And they get a nice set outside. Great dig. Mike takes a swing. They play it up. We set outside. They know it's going outside. Play could have been called on a lift, but the set was inside. It was not exactly hittable. He had no choice. He tried to go high off the hands, but Loy is just too big for that. You're going to have to hit it real high. And the Dons score the final point to take a very convincing third game. Hopefully they'll carry that kind of momentum on to this next game here as they need to, because Stanford will get right back into this game and anything can happen in Game 5 and rally score.
Well, it appears to be the same lineup for IPFW. Perditis, Termolen, Almodovar, Ralat, Ball. And Collins, I think Collins is going to get the start indeed. Right now, the Stanford bench pretty quiet over there.
Yeah,
they got away from Furbringer in that third game. He was really on fire in the second game.
They really did, and he needs to see that ball a whole bunch because he doesn't make a whole lot of errors. I mean, I think I remember like 4 errors that are blatant type, his errors that are his fault type of things. And he's just got to see the ball front row, back row, right side, left side. He's just got to see it.
Okay, getting set for game 4 here. What does IPFW and Arnie Ball say to his team at timeout here between the break?
Well, usually they're doing things that are tactical oriented. They're saying we got to block this person on this rotation, or we got to put 2 blockers over here. Every once in a while, he's got a kick him in the butt type of speech that he'll throw out there if he feels the intensity's low. But mostly it's tactical types of things.
One player who has played very well tonight, Mike Tremolin. He has delivered, has a couple of big blocks. He blocked Lambert with one hand.
Oh, it was just a great block. I mean, that's just like all world. It's a freak accident is basically what it is.
And the thing about Mike, too, he's doing things a little bit now more out of instinct. That swing he had on a game point, trying to take care of that overpass. And a service error by Burkhart to start game number 4. That's not a tentative play.
No, it's not. It just happens, and it's something you react to. It's natural ability. You just have to deal with situations like that as they arise.
Oh, beautiful set that time by Seaman.
And Mike's doing a much better job of handling those kinds of situations. Being the freshman, anything that goes out of the ordinary or out of system, freshmen tend to have problems handling those kinds of things.
Jump set for Almodovar. And you can see that set didn't have much time for Stanford to react to it, didn't have the blockers up.
Yeah, both teams seem pretty fired up here at the beginning of this game.
Well, it's been a case of whoever gets on the board first wins the game. It's happened in all 3 games.
Yeah, there's that nice 1.5 jump serve that Norman's capable of. It's a really effective serve when you catch them off guard and they're not ready for it. You can't do it twice in a row. It's an easy thing to pick up because you're not surprised.
Well, why do it twice in a row? Bring the heater the next time. Burkhart on his heels.
Exactly. Then you move them back, you move them up, you move them back, you keep them guessing.
Where's he going with this one?
Probably the same. Nope. Other side. Work the other guy over.
Overpass. The Terminator.
And this is what the Dons need. They need to keep Stanford down, and Stanford is in, and Ruben sees that and calls timeout effectively because he knows that they are very capable of losing their intensity and really getting taken out of this match in a world of hurry.
3 straight, IPFW leads. Oh, while we have this break in the action, we'd like to tell you one more time about the program guide. College Cable Access, provides information about our programming. And the program guide is free to everyone. That includes IPFW Sports Telecast. To receive your Channel 6 program guide, send your name, address, and zip code to Channel 6 IPFW, 2101 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805, or you can call us at 481-6000. Wednesday night, Tri-State will be in here. Be quite frank about it, they are not the caliber team that you're going to be seeing during the MIVA playoffs. That's Wednesday night. That'll be on Channel 6. Garrett comes through with a kill.
Nice swing by, or nice set by Canyon Seaman there. Caught IPFW off guard. They weren't ready for that one at all.
Almodovar with the overpass, and Lambert with a kill. I'm impressed with Lambert, the way he does swing. He does have that live arm.
He does. He has a nice swing.
Sophomore out of Hawaii, Mike Lambert. Ralat, back row.
It's good to see Pepa swing that back row like that. He needs to be effective there. It keeps everybody else, gives them a better chance to be successful when you keep the other team's blockers off guard. Great set by Canyon there.
What did he do in that set that's so difficult?
Buckets. Well, basically he's running towards us, where we are over here, towards the second referee, facing the back line, and then ending to set the ball like 90 degrees away from where he's facing, which is extremely tough to set it 30 feet the opposite direction in a hittable position, no less.
And one thing Canyon does is he moves his upper body. He does not give the set away, moves his upper body, keeps the hands, doesn't give away the position. Three-man block that time. That was a poor decision.
Exactly. And
he wanted to go to Furbringer.
Right. Lambert is not effective out of the pipe situation like Furbringer is. He's very effective out of that pipe. Lambert is not. He's got to stay on the outside there.
Service error by Collins. IPFW a leader in game number 4, up 2-1. They lead this one 4-1.
Dons can get back on that 5-point lead again here. They'll be in good shape.
Brunitis off Burkhart. And that time the block was up early.
That was a great swing. Brad's just really coming through with flying colors tonight with his hitting. He's just putting everything away.
Caught Burkhart on the way down. There's a combination play, snuffed out by Almodovar, but it was off his fingers.
Almost got that one. That's a good attempt by IPFW there.
Mike Hofer on serve at 1-4. And this is number 5 Stanford.
Yeah, they're number 5, and you know, they know that IPFW is good. They know that they're better than their ranking, so they're prepared for this, I'm sure.
Garrett Collins was there, and we're in one of those situations again where both teams siding out.
Yeah, and again, it's a stamina thing. It's who can last the longest here, endurance.
Lambert and Ball up for it.
And so far, IPFW has had the ability to maintain the intensity at the highest level, and that's why they won that last game.
Garrett with the kill.
Very effective in the middle.
6'4" junior, he came in the middle of game number 3.
He's doing a nice job in there for the Cardinal.
Terbolin, and how about that one across the body?
Exactly, but that's the problem. Because he's only 6'4", not the 6'9" middle hitter, his noodle arm is going to be more effective going over the top of those middle blockers.
Right. Garrett is 6'4", and that time could not get out of the way. Poor decision by Garrett.
Incredible serve. Absolutely incredible. That ball landed on the 10-foot line in the sideline, and it's a jump serve.
Well, you got it dialed in that time. Tried to hit.
Zone 5 out there next to the line judge, going for the opposite corner. Keep him off guard. It's a nice job. Hey, you chip away at a point in time, and if you pick up one every serve, you're going to win the match because they're side-out offenses.
Terbolin on serve, waiting for the call from Coach Ball. Looks like the 1 zone.
It is. Nice serve. Ooh, that's close to being in.
And Tim, let's just run down the zones for the people at home when we talk about that in relation to the court now.
The zone 1 is where the server is, the right back area where the server is serving from. That's zone 1.
So that was zone 1 right there.
Yeah. Nice play.
Verbringer. And that time he tried the high, hard one off the fingertips.
He was trying, everybody in the gym could see it. You just, as a blocker, you got to pull your hands down is what you got to do because you know he's sailing for the rooftops there. Basically, zone 1 is the right back. The right front is zone 2. Middle front,
One-on-one block, Roy Ball.
Oh, that was big penetration. Zone 3 is middle front. Zone 4 is left front. Zone 5 is left back. And zone 6 is middle back.
And another block, this time Perditis. Burkhart turned aside 3 straight times.
Oh, and the Dons are excited. The Cardinals falling apart at the seams. They're losing their intensity. They're just walking around with humdrum faces. Dons are up, fans are up. They're all over it.
And keep it on him, a tough serve by Collins. Verbringer that time in between the blockers. Rolat a little too far off the net.
Yeah, he jumped in the middle. He had to come down and try to jump back outside. It's an extremely difficult move, athletic move to make.
7-1 IPFW out in front. The dink works that time by Freditis.
And you know what we just saw? We just saw the campfire defense.
That's number 2. Okay, explain that one.
And that's where everybody watches the ball fall right into the middle of the court, right there. Nobody goes for the ball. Everybody's just making a nice little ring around the campfire.
Hofer putting down. Hofer back on serve at 1-7.
Ooh, ugly serve. Ugly serve. 7-1 is the score here. Dons have taken out a nice lead. They've got to maintain this intensity level. It'll be just fine if they do. Nice defense.
Garrett and Furbringer running into each other. Now Furbringer moves around to the outside.
Yep, the ball went off the antenna. The line judge has called the ball off the antenna, and that's why it bounced, took a right angle off the net. It actually hit the net and the antenna at the same time, bounced into the middle of the court. Cardinal has to use their last timeout, scores 8-1.
2 timeouts per game, and they're on the edge of extinction right now. At this point in time, do you bring in a substitution? What do you do if you're Stanford?
Whew, good question. It's tough to say. I mean, they've got a young team. The folks out there are pretty good. I'm not sure they have anybody better than that on the bench. Of course, I don't know their bench at all, but you know, my guess is those folks out there, they just have to pick it up themselves. They got to pick it up if you're the Cardinal.
Tim, you made the remark before that even though volleyball is a very complex game, it becomes so much simpler when you serve well. It simplifies the game for your team because you take away the complex things that the other team can do.
Exactly.
And IPFW has really done well on the serve tonight. I believe that has been the difference. Still alive. Great get that time by Seaman. Collins covering up. Overpass. Did he get a tip? Garrett. And let's see if we can pick up the conversation. He's going to get the card.
He's going to get the card for that one.
I'm not too sure if we want to pick up the conversation.
Yeah, no, I don't think there was a touch at all. I mean, he was going for hands, but I don't think he got him at all.
Termolen, the joust still alive, and we have someone in the net.
Yeah, we got Cardinal in the net. 10-1 is the score. Dons are ready to put this match away. They definitely are in better physical condition than the Cardinal is.
No more timeouts. Stanford is going to have to ride this one out at 10-1. Burkhart missing wide. And this could be a big convincing win. Here's how you take a timeout.
Exactly. Use the old revolving door technique.
What's that?
The revolving door. Get those subs flowing in and out, flowing in and out.
Tim,
is that number 3?
I know it's late. I'm going to let you off the hook.
Thank you.
See you sweating over there. Okay, we had the revolving door, the campfire defense. What was your first one?
Knuckler.
The knuckler.
And we saw another knuckler by Michael.
Right.
Off the hands. Nice. They are in the middle back, and they got that ball up.
Still alive. What a great get. IPFW won to get it over, have to dump it over. Freditis a little too tight on the set. And here's something. Stuart Chong in the game. Seaman is taking a break right now.
Wow.
So Stuart Chong, he came in to set.
How about that move, huh?
Yeah, and Aaron Garcia, number 5, with his service error. When you bring a player in cold off the bench, does it make any difference about the serve? You want to do something differently if you're coming in cold?
Huge difference if you're the setter, because all setters have a different motion and a different height and a different method of setting. Ooh, that was a double. Could have called that. And the setter coming into the game is cold, and they're not into the offense. The hitters are totally out of touch with this type of setter. They're like, oh my God, where's he going to put the ball? They don't know where to go, so they kind of have to readjust their game towards the new setter. Extremely difficult to put in a new setter.
Collins over the block.
What I was saying a couple rallies ago, when Pepa made that great dig, it went off the hands, and Pepa was in the middle back where he was supposed to be, and you make an easy dig because you're in position.
11-1, see if it's the half speed. Lambert.
Don's at 11-1. They got a nice 10-point lead here. Cardinals going to have a long way to come back to win this one.
And that's the way to do it. The shank by Almodovar.
The only way the Cardinals can come back is if the Dons totally break down in their passing. That's the only possible way with two high-powered offenses, side-out offenses, like we're saying. If you get a big lead like this, the only way is to totally mess up the other team's passing.
And Steve Simonson coming in. He's going to enter for Mike Termolen and behind the service line. Gets the call from Coach Ball. Going to 4.
Sneaks it through. Craig wings one up there, chicken wing.
Verbringer, did it go wide?
Oh, sweet hit. Ball is in.
Wow, what a tough play that was.
That was a radical angle out of the back row, nonetheless. I mean, that ball almost hit the 10-foot line. Boy, that's a heck of a hit. That's a heck of a hit. That was a sneaker there because that ball was a tad low for Craig, and he swatted her down and had to go under the net. It's a good thing it did hit the floor real quickly.
Readjusted, dipped the left shoulder so he could get a piece of it. That time in position, just didn't react to the ball.
Yeah, didn't see it coming off the hands of the blockers. It came right to him, kind of fooled him a little bit, I think. It's going to happen.
Epaphroditus that time, missing wide. Stanford sticking around. They've stuck IPFW on that 11-point mark.
Dons don't need to get fancy here. They just gotta execute their game plan. There you go. Execute your game plan. Don't get fancy. Lloyd's starting to get a little fancy there with his setting there. Caught us off guard. Caught Brad off guard. Didn't get outside to get a good hit in. Just keep it simple, stupid.
And there's a simple play over the middle. Seaman still out of the contest.
Yeah,
the player of the year last year. J.B. Taylor, number 30, coming in.
That's one way to mix it up.
Stuart Chong in the game. I don't know. That's his 4-year career at Stanford. I wonder if that has ever happened before. With Stanford trailing.
Yeah, well, obviously either Ruben thinks he's too tired, or he doesn't like his set selection, or he's getting a bad attitude, or something to that effect, or he just wanted to mix it up and try something totally different to completely mix things up, throw people off guard, including IPFW.
Well, if he's tired, he's had an extended break there on the bench. Scott Lauer, another setter. In for IPFW. He's not going to take care of the setting chores, though.
Stanford hanging tough here. We've gotten to 11, but they're hanging tough. It's 11-3. They've scored a couple. They're siding out well. Stanford's back on their game again. Sweet hit. That's one thing I've noticed about the California teams is their offside blocker does not come off to play defense at the 10-foot line. I still can't believe they don't do that, but they don't do that. Neither the Beach or the Cardinals been able to do that.
Service, ace for Loy Ball, and finally IPFW gets off the 11-point mark, 12-3. Another blister.
Tight set, here's a block.
Still up, Verbringer. A little too aggressive at that point in time. Had another hit available.
I don't think there's any way the Cardinal can come back the way IPFW has been able to side out tonight, even if they really do start passing well. they could make it close, but gosh, it's just awful tough the way IPFW is playing.
Lambert, straight down. Boy, he is something to watch.
Norman thought he had it too. He thought he saw that ball right in his sights. Ball just slid off his left hand.
And you make a good point about conditioning. IPFW players Collins and Termolen right now grabbing the shorts a little bit. This one's gone about 2.5 hours. Collins, big swing.
There it is again. As you know, if you see a replay, their left side, Lambert does not get off to where that ball hit, and that's where the left front player has to come off to play defense.
There you get
right
another look at it. He does not come off the net.
And it kills him. It's killed him all weekend long.
There's a radical angle. And Hofer coming in for Taylor. Hofer entering in the front row.
To Stanford. Hofer returns to the game.
This is Garrett on serve at 3:13.
Oh,
got the bailout that time.
Yeah, get the old slider there. Get the old changeup happening
and
for you.
And I think Spider is getting a little tired. He doesn't quite have the bounce that he had earlier.
Like I say, it looks like Norman and Loy are in pretty good shape here. Pape is in pretty good shape. Brad looks like he's in pretty good shape. Mike and Spider are struggling. They're not in as good a shape.
And it's really no surprise if you've been around the IPFW team, Tim, as you have. Those two players are the players that are in the weight room before and after practice.
Yeah, they are. They're just going to make sure that they get it done, that's all.
Service ace, and I am impressed with this kid Lambert.
He's a nice player, that's for sure. Done a real good job.
6'6" out of Hawaii. He's on serve at 4:13. Ticks the net. Service error.
And if you are sucking air or whatever, if you're fatiguing, you've really got to reach within.
Service ace.
You got to reach within yourself like that right there and pull it out, and because you can't let fatigue make cowards of us all. This is it for the match.
Oh, that was a push, not called.
Loy for game.
Lambert in position. Blocked by Volleyball.
There it is.
Bring it up. IPFW takes this one in 4. 16-14, 9-15, 15-11, and 15-4. IPFW a huge win against Stanford, and believe me, that's going to play down the line with the 1 and 4 seed, the 2 and 3 seed in the Final Four. Should IPFW make it that far?
Exactly. You know, the next best thing that could happen to the Dons is, A, they get into the Final Four by wiping out Ball State, and B, if Stanford wins their division, because then the Dons at least become the 3rd seed.
All right, we're going to take a break here. I got to think if we can get Lloyd Ball on the floor afterwards, he has been the man tonight for IPFW.
Definitely the Dandy Don tonight.
So when we come back, we'll talk with Lloyd about the 4-game win. IPFW number 12. Not really an upset, but they beat number 5 Stanford. We'll take a break right now and be back after these messages.
Team spirit is alive and well at IPFW. That's because IPFW has established itself as an athletic power, not only regionally, but nationally. With 11 major sports, IPFW offers talented student athletes great opportunities. Success and support of IPFW athletics comes solely from the fans, students, faculty, alumni, and the prestigious Royal Dons Club. The Royal Dons Athletic Club has over 500 members who financially support IPFW athletics, enabling the university to provide scholarships to deserving athletes. Members will receive one or all of the following: season passes to all sporting events, special seating, hospitality room, plus Royal Dons apparel and gifts. In May of '94, IPFW will host the Men's Collegiate Final Four Volleyball Championships. Royal Dons will be first in line to purchase preferred seating. Be a part of the winning tradition. Join the Royal Dons Club. We need your support. Call IPFW Athletics. Get into the team spirit.
Math test. What's the common denominator of the following situations? Time's up, and the answer is algebra. Not what you expected? Neither is the new PBS series I'm hosting. I'm Saul Garfunkel, and the series is called In Simplest Terms. Join me as we bring college algebra down to earth.
After dating the guy forever, you think I could tell him anything. Why is this so hard? I'm really scared.
It takes a lot of guts to tell someone he's too drunk to drive. But you can do it. Just say it. Because if you don't, there may be nothing left to say.
Kevin, I'm gonna drive.
Take the keys, call a cab, take a stand. Friends don't let friends drive drunk. This is just one of the many parts you can play as a young Red Cross volunteer. Volunteer and play your part.
Talk about unusual. How often do you see transparent televisions?
Americans have more money to spend on leisure activities than ever before.
When possible, children should trick or treat during daylight hours and be accompanied by at least one adult.
A boat, archaeologists believe, is from the time Jesus and his disciples fished on the Galilee.
For best results, fertilize your lawn when it is actively growing.
Many people suffer from allergies. Few understand them.
Ma'am, excuse me. Could you help me, please? Sir, could you help me, please? My little girl, she needs blood. Could you help me?
I'm sorry.
Somebody, please. My daughter, she needs blood. Could you please help? Somebody help me.
Imagine if you had to ask for blood to save the life of someone you love. Next time the American Red Cross asks, "Give blood, please."
This is the increasingly competitive world we live in, and this is the country we want ahead of the competition. These are the people we'll be depending on to keep this country ahead of the competition. These are the colleges and universities we're relying on for the people we're depending on to keep this country ahead of the competition. So if you want America to stay #1 in the world, do something about it. Give to the college of your choice.
Down up here. What? We at IPFW are pleased to be able to bring you cable casts of the NCAA athletic competition. We hope you've enjoyed the show and the excitement of the intercollegiate sports from IPFW. To provide such programs, we need your support. With the help of many volunteers, we are able to produce these programs at a relatively low cost. Your contribution will help defray the production costs not covered by the Channel 6 budget. The College Cable Access Center invites you to invest in the quality college programming by providing your contribution to Indiana-Purdue Foundation College Cable Access Athletics. Send it to Channel 6 at IPFW 2101 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana 46805. And now down on the floor we have Paul Faber with our Dandy Don of the night, Loy Ball.
Very much, Tim. I'm down on the floor right now with Loy Ball and Loy. I tell you, the block was big tonight, but what about the serving for IPFW? You take Stanford out of their game right away with the serve.
With a team that big and that good inside-out offense, it's almost a necessity that you serve the ball tough. Otherwise, as you saw when we didn't, they're just going to stick it down your throat. So I thought with my jump serve and Norman took a bang. And even though we had some errors, we had some really tough serves and took them out of their rhythm. And when they had to set the ball one way or the other and not in the middle, you know, we got a big enough block where we put it down.
Let's talk a little bit about that block. You really came of age, and we can roll the tape on a game point here. You had the block on that. What is this team doing? I've seen the block for IPFW really come along this year.
Well, I think one is just the dedication coaches put into it, working with us with our footwork and so forth. I think with the addition of Mike Tremolian in the middle, he's a big blocker who's getting better each day. And I think Felipe Rolat's coming on real strong. And that allows us to move Spider Collins back to the opposite where he belongs. And that just gives a whole bigger lineup, than before. And I think it's just an attitude. Blocking is such a hard part of the game, but nothing excites the crowd or the team more.
Okay, last. Seemed well conditioned too, but how about the mental conditioning right now? The camaraderie really, after the game, you guys huddled up there, really excited about this game. Starting to gel a little bit?
Yeah, that's one thing we really started to work on over our spring break trip to California. We hadn't been playing well. We thought it was because we were being a little too individualistic. So Norman got everybody together and said, hey, we need to come together as a team and as friends. So we began to hang out more socially, just not on the court, but off the court. And I think it's really shown last night and tonight, and after the match is just a perfect illustration of it.
Okay, one last, because I can't go without asking this. It wasn't really a game between you and Canyon tonight, but it sure had some implications down the line. Are you pleased with the way you set the ball tonight?
Yeah, I lied. It made a big difference. I wanted to beat him pretty bad. I mean, obviously the game they beat us was a lot bigger game in the Final Four, but they were a young team. We're a young team, and it's just a great stepping stone for us. And, and there'll always be that competition between setters, but I love the way our team decided to compete against their team, and it wasn't 1-on-1, it was 6-on-6, and we came out the victors.
All right, performance to his autograph. We'll hear over his shoulder. Let's go back upstairs. Tim Heffron, put a wrap on this one for us.
Thank you, Paul. This college cable access sports presentation is underwritten by part by a grant from Cable Access Incorporated of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Dons win tonight in 4. Long match, good 2.5-hour match. Final game is 15-4. Great match against number 5 Stanford, as the Dons are sure to move up in the rankings now. We'd like to take this time to thank Channel 6 volunteer crew and the Learning Resource Center at IPFW for their contributions to the live production of our basketball game this evening. I should say volleyball. The telecast of this IPFW sports event is a copyright and the sole property of College Cable Access Center and IPFW. Unauthorized duplication, exhibition, retransmission, rebroadcast, or any other use of this event without the expressed written consent is strictly prohibited. Don't forget to tune in to Channel 6 next Wednesday evening at 7:30 to see the Thunder from Tri-State University take on the IPFW Volleyball. For Paul Fireball, this is Tim Heffron. Goodbye for now.